You and Chris are going to be in here talking about God knows what.
Well, I guess we got to behave a little bit.
What?
I guess we got to behave a little bit.
I don't think so.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Retro Show. I am Butch Renfroe. I am joined at the podcast microphone, as always, by my partner in crime. Ladies and gentlemen, the three of us were there. Because we're also joined by Debbie on the day of my wedding. He was best man at my wedding. Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Curtis.
Hey, what's up, guys? Hey, what's up, crowd? What's up, guys? In the back? How you doing? Hey, how are you doing, baby? Up here in the front? Looking good. Looking good. I like it.
Yeah.
And I am joined by my backup on this retro show.
They team up with me on. They team up against me.
Ladies and gentlemen, Debbie Renfroe.
Nice to be here.
Yeah.
Nice to be here.
Big round of applause for Debbie, please. Thank you. Oh, standing ovation. I love it.
Yeah, they never clap for me. But by the way, folks, you can go to retroshow.net and find out everything you need to know about this podcast. Where to listen to us. You can go find our Facebook link. You can also find we now have a store, Chris.
I know you've told me that, and it's awesome.
Isn't it?
It
and
is.
That you can buy
awesome.
Team Chris t-shirts there.
Yeah.
Where somebody has, marked on my face on there. Debbie's getting one for Christmas, a Team Chris shirt. So they have Team Butch shirts, but I just don't think.
I'm going to wear it to work.
You're going to wear the Team Chris shirt to work?
Heck yeah. I love it.
Oh, folks, we appreciate you listening to us, and thanks for joining us on this show here.
Hold up there, champ. Debbie, what you got rocking over here in this glass? Because it looks awesome.
Well, that is my very own concoction of a pumpkin spice iced latte.
I just got whipped cream, and is that nutmeg on top?
That is pumpkin pie spice.
Oh, my God. This thing looks awesome.
It's good.
Not something I would drink because, I got other things to do, but it looks awesome.
It does look good. It actually looks like something, something professionally made. Like she's a barista.
It would look like something you would pay $3 for a day.
$3? Dude, you're like $6.
I'm telling you, $3 you could be spending as a producer of this podcast.
Yes.
Instead of, and you can make your own pumpkin spice latte with pumpkin spice on top and whipped cream.
Yeah, you can send us $3 a month by becoming a producer, and we'll tell them all about that later in the program.
Only thing, it's sugar-free whipped cream.
Sugar-free. That's okay.
And it's
that's fine.
Coconut milk and almond milk.
Mixed together?
It comes together.
You should have jumped in on the candy bar thing because you got the whole mixture going.
You got the whole thing happening there. I'm just going to tell you that I had to print this off because I got a wrong text the other day, and if you ever get a wrong text, you can have so much fun with that. So here's the text I got. Linda, are you coming over for dinner today? I'm going to cook seafood. Now, how do you think? I could have said, I'm not Linda. I could have said, you have the wrong number you're texting to. I reply with, no thanks. I have all the crabs I can deal with. And then I include lyrics, and you're going to have to apologize. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to sing.
Did I really agree to this?
Yes, you did. With apologies to Mr. Sinatra, this is what I reply with. Strangers in my shorts. I keep on scratching. Strangers in my shorts. These eggs keep hatching, reminding me of our rendezvous. Strangers in my shorts. I sit here crying. There are strangers in my shorts. These things aren't dying. I'm just sitting here at home with my little comb. The medicine the doctor gave won't work. I guess I'll have to shave. Doobie, doobie, doo. And then I sent that out, and I didn't get a reply back. I was so disappointed. But,
that's awesome, though.
But I love getting wrong texts. And calls, man, I will mess with those people.
The best one that I ever did.
What's that?
Was to my dad.
Oh.
So Dad was still around, and I called the house phone. Cindy's sitting there, and as soon as he answered the phone, I said, "I'd like very much to speak to Jay Curtis, please." "This is Jay." "Yes, sir, Mr. Curtis. My name is Ajib, and I work with MCI Friends and Family. How are you doing this?" "I'm doing fine." "Well, I'd like to talk to you about joining our circle of friends." "Oh, son, I'm going to stay with who I came with. I'm going to stay with AT&T." And he's hanging up the phone. I'm going, "Dad, Dad, Dad." And he hangs up, clicking on it. I said, he hung up on me. So I called him right back. He answers the phone. "Hello, Mr. Curtis, this is our baby. You hang up on me, and I work very hard for me." And I can hear the phone like 5 feet from him, and he's handing it to my mom going, "Listen to this." Oh, my gosh. I have laughed so many times thinking about that.
My favorite one, and I wish I used to have a recording of this. If I can dig it up, I'll let you hear it. But back like 10 years ago, when you actually had more live people calling you all the time.
Yeah.
I had this character that I would do called Big Lou.
Big Lou don't care. He's on meds too.
It was before. Is before you hear. Is before they came as serious. But Big Lou. But my version of Big Lou was a timeshare salesman in Branson.
Oh my God!
And so they would call up trying to sell me something. I was going, listen, man. Have you ever been to the entertainment capital of the Midwest? It's called Branson, Missouri. And we got Roy Clark. Well, no, he's gone. We got the Osmond. No, the Osmonds are gone too. Well, we still got what's his name, the Russian guy. He's still here. But anyway, we'd like you to come up here and maybe get $99 for 3 days, and you can stay at one of our beautiful condos, and we'll give you a tour. You can you play around the golf. Do you like golf? And by that time, they were usually gone.
Yeah, so, Redneck Vegas, baby.
Yeah, Redneck Vegas. But yeah, I had more fun than I probably should have on things like that. Folks, if you joined us on the podcast today and you're still with us, then you probably got something wrong with you. We are going to come back and we are going to be talking about the Primetime television schedule from 1979. And there's some powerhouses on here and there's some never was's on here.
Yep.
And we're going to be back in just a little bit. Hey, Chris, guess what?
What?
We got producers. Did you know that?
I know we got producers.
Yeah, these fantastic, lovely individuals have decided that they're going to support the podcast by committing to $3 a month. I mean, come on, man. You're not even going to miss $3, man.
You can't even buy bubble gum for $3.
You can't. You can get that cheap, nasty kind. You know what I mean. It's really, It's not,
flavor's gone in about 10 seconds.
Yeah, it's not even the good bubble gum. But anyway, folks, here are the people that we have that support us. Brand new to our list is Kevin Goff.
Yeah, Mr. Goff, thank you very much.
Yeah, and then LNC Corporation.
You don't mess with LNC
You do not cross the LNC Corporation. Norton. And Chris B. Thank you, Chris B. Nancy Schwartz.
Yeah.
Who else is on there?
Schwartz.
Who else is on the list, man?
Josh Ramsey.
Thank you, Josh.
Yeah.
Fran Adams.
E.M.
And
Bradford the Behemoth Mason.
Well, Behemoth Beast. Kind of the same thing.
It's not.
Oh, okay. And, of course, our original sponsor, our original producer.
Number one in our hearts.
Tanya Highland.
Thank
Hey,
you.
guys, you can go to retroshow.net, click support the podcast, and find out how you can be one of our fine producers.
Butch, what's this Van Halen symbol doing on this?
It's pretty. Okay, folks, back on the Retro Show, we are talking about primetime television from 1979. So, Chris, in 79, I think I was 12.
Yep, I was 12.
Yeah.
You were 13.
I was 11.
Yeah, I would have been 13 in 79.
Did you
Thank
graduate
you.
in 86 or 86?
86.
Yeah, you were a year behind me in school. Butch is a year ahead of me in school.
Yeah.
I'm in the middle.
Class of 84.
I'm like the double stuffed Oreo, baby.
You
I was in the middle.
All right, so before we get going on this, what's really funny is that, we say this is kind of a Gen X podcast and stuff, but I looked at the years for generations. You and I are barely Gen X, man.
You've told me that.
Yeah. Monty is technically a boomer.
He's a boomer.
Yeah. But the thing is that the earliest Gen X's and the latest boomers were exactly the same. We like the same music.
We all grew up together. I
mean,
we
we did.
We really did. My brother was 4 years older than me, but my brother was my idol when I was a kid. I wanted to be so much like him, and whatever he liked, I liked, and at that time.
Yeah.
As we got older, I was like, man, well, he's a dumbass. No, I did. I'm just joking. No, I still love my brother a whole bunch, but yeah, he was my idol when I was a kid. So
listen, Monty was kind of a legend around here, man.
Yeah,
that was a lot to live up to. Monty was kind of, and then oh man, I got so many stories about your brother when we all lived together.
I lived
some
with
of them. I may be even
a longer time.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I think I know the one with
good Lord.
with that Heffington boy.
Nope.
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 So y'all, the primetime TV schedule. Now you got to realize, back in the day, we did have some cable in some areas, but cable
in town.
Yeah, but cable had not really taken over yet. So you still had kind of the big three network here. So that's what we're going to be looking at today is ABC, CBS, and NBC lineups in 1979, because that's what most of us were watching at the time. And started. Now, all of these on this list here, yes?
Ladies first.
Well, hang on. Yes, but hang on.
Hey, that's
Thank
my partner,
you,
dude.
Chris.
You are so welcome, Debbie.
Ladies first for what? We're just going through the schedule.
Yeah.
But
she gets to talk first, though.
That's a gentleman right there.
I'm not going to win this one. Team Chris. She's getting a Team Chris shirt. Folks, you can go to the store. And by the way, thanks for the opportunity. You can go to the store at retroshow.net, order yourself a Team Chris t-shirt. And if anybody wants to throw me a mercy, order yourself a Team Butch.
There's going to be some Team
Or
Butch
get the sciatica.
Hell, I might get a Team Butch shirt.
That's what we should do, is get one with each other's.
Yeah, I'm telling you right now, man, that sciatica, that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that.
Yeah, ride the heating pad. Instead of ride the lightning. Sciatica. We rock until about 8:30.
It wouldn't be nearly as funny if it wasn't so true.
It is true.
I know.
Good Lord. I mean, we did that little spot for TikTok or Instagram or whatever, which is like, things hurt in the morning. I'm like, yeah, they hurt in the evenings too.
It hurt in the evenings too.
They hurt all day.
And then you get a new one. Oh, that's a new paint.
Yeah.
Oh, how cool is that?
Pretty soon we're going to be doing the organ recital.
Yeah, the organ recital. What still works? What doesn't? The primetime TV schedule. So these are all listed in Eastern time. So a lot of these we're going to have to kind of transpose. But Sunday at 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern time. And this is Sunday night. Let's start with Sunday night. Out of the Blue at 7. Does anybody remember a show called Out of the Blue?
No.
There's a reason for that. There's a reason why none of us at this table know what that show is.
Yes.
Actually,
And
there's two reasons.
There's two reasons.
One of them was, Dad, please. Dad, please let me watch.
Yeah, let me watch this, because he may be on CBS at 6 p.m. Central, 7 Eastern, 60 minutes. Still airing today.
It is. And
maybe one of the longest.
I like it better today than I did back then.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But yeah, 60 Minutes has been on for a long, long time.
Debbie, tell everybody what we were watching at 6 p.m. on Sunday.
We were watching, well, it says Disney's Wonderful
Yeah,
World, but we called it the Wonderful World of Disney. Blah, I can't even talk.
It was the Wonderful World of Disney.
And you had to have Tinkerbell come in and do the thing,
Yep.
and then it would get started.
She'd come in and do that thing.
Yeah, she'd come in and go, ding, she'd do that thing with the wand, boom, right over the castle. And made a little fireworks go.
It did.
And but yeah, we were watching that back then, and even younger.
The Wonderful World of Disney, part of your family for 25 years.
Okay, so here's my Wonderful World of Disney story. I remember, because almost every Sunday we would go to we'd go down the road to Russellville, which is about 50 miles away from our house. So for a kid, that's a journey.
That is a journey.
And so we would go and we'd spend all day at my grandparents' house, and they had this little black and white TV in there, and I would generally in the evenings end up in their den, as they called it, watching The Wonderful World of Disney.
Yeah.
that night. So that's just a little
always
trip down memory lane back then. So at 7:30 on ABC, A New Kind of Family, which nobody here knows.
Don't have a clue.
Don't have a clue. Nope. So Sunday at 7, 8 Eastern, we started getting into some things we might remember. Mork and Mindy.
Nanu. Shazbot.
I do.
Yeah. Did you watch it?
I did, but you know that aired against the next one on CBS, which my dad absolutely loved, and I didn't have an appreciation for until later.
Yeah.
That show was hilarious.
Yeah. So, go ahead and say.
Well, wait a minute.
It's
Wasn't
All
that-
in the Family,
I thought it was
wasn't
All in the
it?
Family.
Well, Archie Bunker's Place in '79, they had changed to that.
Oh, really?
I don't.
Yeah, they changed the name to Archie Bunker's because
Well, then maybe that's why I got to
Had
watch more
Edith
comedians.
died,
Edith had died.
and he bought the bar.
He bought the bar, and they changed the name
Okay.
to Archie
Now I'm
Bunker's
with you.
Place. By that point, it was just him because the people who had played Meathead and his daughter and Edith had quit the show. It was just him.
Yeah,
And so it was Archie Bunker's Place. He ran a bar.
I don't. Maybe that's why I got to watch Mork and Mindy, because Dad probably was just like, well, screw that.
Yeah.
Because the chemistry was Meathead, Edith.
Stifle yourself.
Yeah.
Stifle it. But Archie Bunker's Place, and it actually lasted like 4 seasons. I actually we got curious about it, and it lasted like 4 seasons even
Really?
after.
I don't-
But I never watched it after it was not All in the Family anymore.
Yeah.
NBC had something called The Big Event, which I think was, I'm not sure if that was a movie or a sports event or whatever, but they called it The Big Event.
Well, it ran for 2 hours, so
Yeah, it's probably a movie. Yeah. So at 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern, The Associates on ABC. Don't remember.
I don't either, because it was
No.
opposite of.
It was opposite of what I actually watched, which
Yeah.
on CBS was, Debbie.
One day at a time.
This is it.
This is life, the one you get. So go in,
Have a ball.
have a ball.
This is it, this is it. This is life, the one you get. So go and have a ball. This is it, this is it. Straight ahead and rest assured, you can't be sure at all.
Yeah.
I loved Valerie Bertinelli. She had the most beautiful hair.
She was just a beautiful lady.
She was.
Still a beautiful lady.
Remember when Eddie Van Halen did the little cameo?
That was later on in the 80s when
Yeah.
he did that. Yeah.
That's right.
And so at 8 Central, 9 Eastern, the ABC Sunday Movie, and who knows what that was going to be. Yeah, it was something.
Depends.
But everybody else was watching probably CBS at that time as well, which the famous line, ladies and gentlemen, what's the one line you can remember?
Kiss my grits.
Thank you, Debbie.
Mel, kiss my grits.
Alice.
Alice.
Look for me, there's a new girl in town, and she's looking good. There's a fresh, freckled face in the neighborhood.
Yeah, that came on at that time. And then, of course, the movie was still running on NBC. And it was still running on ABC because they had the ABC Sunday night movie. So there you go. And at CBS also at 8:30, 9:30 Eastern, The Jeffersons.
Well, we're moving on up to the east side, to a deluxe apartment in the sky. We're moving on up to the east side.
I never missed the Jeffersons,
Never
which that was a
missed the
spin-off
Jeffersons.
of All in the Family.
A spinoff of All in the
was.
Family. I actually got to meet Sherman Hemsley.
Really?
Yeah, there's a photo of me with him, and it's the funniest. I have to show it to you. So, he's a great dude. He was a really nice man, and so for those of you who don't know, Sherman Hemsley played George Jefferson, and he was the most not George Jefferson human being.
Yeah,
that
we're
you would-
moving on up.
Moving on up. And
To
so
the east side.
To that deluxe apartment in the sky.
I'm not going to take part in this.
Moving on up.
To the east side.
We finally got a piece of the pie.
No. It's beans don't burn in the kitchen.
Anywho, I met Sherman Hemsley to get back to my story, and he was a great guy. It's a funny picture I'll have to show you, because as we were sitting there, he puts his head on my shoulder. It was just hilarious. And so at 9 p.m. Central Time and 10 Eastern. There was a ABC Sunday movie that was still playing, and on ABC and on CBS, Trapper John M.D., which was a
Spin-off.
serious version of kind of a you hate to say a serious comedy, but it was more of a serious drama spin-off of MASH, Trapper John M.D. I do remember watching that just a little bit.
That was a good show.
Yeah, it was actually a pretty good show.
Trapper was first on the show. Trapper was in the movie.
Yeah, Trapper was in the movie.
Who replaced him on the show?
B.J. McIntyre.
BJ.
B.J.
Yeah,
McIntyre.
BJ was not in the movie.
No.
But Trapper was, along with Scarrett. What's his name? Tom Skerritt.
Yeah.
His character in the movie was hilarious.
Yeah.
Lived in the RV out in the parking lot.
No. This
No.
is from the movie MASH.
Oh.
And then the TV show was a spinoff of the movie, and then
Yes.
Trapper John was a spinoff
Yeah.
of the TV show. So
Right.
really good though. I mean, it was a great show.
And then Primetime Sunday on NBC, which I guess is whatever they wanted to air at 9.
Was that not like a news program?
It may have been.
Kind
Like a-
Maybe it
kinda
was.
like
Like a
60
new-
Minutes,
news
like 20,
Yeah,
magazine
like a
show.
news magazine show.
maybe what
Yeah.
2020,
Yeah,
something like that.
right. So now we move to Mondays. Monday evenings in 1979 on the schedule at 7 p.m. 240 Robert. 240 got canceled. Is what happened. So
There's a reason for that because I
there's a
don't
reason for
remember
that.
it at all.
I don't remember it all, but I do know what happened as the White Shadow on CBS. I remember watching that
I didn't watch it.
a little bit.
There's a reason for that too because
Yeah.
what was on NBC. which-
NBC was Little House on the Prairie, which just was huge. As a
It
matter of
was.
fact, Debbie and my sister the other day were watching this like episode after episode on what was that, like Pluto or
We
what was
caught
that?
it from the very beginning of the series.
Yeah.
And so we just kind of got
We
into
watched all these
it.
early episodes of Little House.
Laura Ingalls was one of those childhood crushes for me. I thought
Yeah.
she was. I always thought she was cute.
And I watched that, me and my mom, but my dad was a basketball guy, so he watched The White Shadow on the big TV in the living room.
Good
Yeah,
Lord,
it
you
was
had
a-
2 TVs.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had two TVs.
Mine was a little black and white, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, the little black and white TV and the big TV in there, which was probably 24 inches at the time. You know,
In a console.
in a console.
They's rich.
Yeah, they's rich. They got a 24-inch console TV. They got a Curtis Mathis.
Oh my goodness.
And then at 8 o'clock on Monday nights, especially during the fall. Monday Night Football.
It was huge.
Howard Cosell, Don Meredith, Dandy Don Meredith, and you did not miss Monday Night Football.
No, I mean
not
that-
in my house.
That was big. The Steelers were big. The Cowboys were big. That was a big rivalry.
Right,
You always went.
but if it wasn't football season, at 8 o'clock on CBS, a classic MASH.
Yeah. It ran for what? 11 seasons? 12
yes,
seasons? Something
11
like
seasons. It actually ended in 1983. So yeah, that it ran for a good long time. MASH is also one of those that kind of kept its consistency up far as good writing throughout the whole thing.
And it had some changes in characters.
Yeah.
I mean, Radar got replaced by Klinger.
Yeah.
Which I don't know how that happened or what happened, but
Well, Gary Berghoff wanted to leave, the guy that played.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then Charles Winston or whatever.
Yeah. Charles.
The kind of upper crusty.
Yeah, the upper crusty, but
from
he
Boston guy.
Yes, and he was stuck up and everything, but
I
he
liked
was a
him
lot.
better.
But I liked him better than
do
Frank
too.
Burns. Frank Burns was just a weasel. But yeah, MASH was one of those great shows, and when I see it on today, I'll still watch it. And what's really cool, and here's maybe you didn't know that. Did you know that that they had a laugh track on every part of the show except when they're in the operating room?
Did not know that.
Yep, when they're in the operating room.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, if you watch it now, you'll notice it. They don't have a laugh track in the operating room at all.
There wasn't too many jokes in the operating room.
No.
I mean, there were a few.
There were a few, but it was more serious when they got in there. But if you ever watch it again, notice the laugh track goes away in the operating room. It's cool. And then NBC Monday Night Movie, which I guess for anybody that didn't want to watch MASH or Monday Night Football.
It would have been some chick flick.
Yeah, probably.
I'm just being honest. Sorry, Debbie, but I'm just saying since it
That
was
would have been
opposite
my mom would have been watching that. That was like a Farrah Fawcett, the burning bed kind of.
Yeah, the burning bed.
That's what I'm
Maybe
saying.
not.
I mean, it's going to be opposite of Monday Night Football,
Yeah.
so they're going to schedule accordingly.
Yeah, they're gonna schedule accordingly. Guys, at 8:30, what I think is one of the best shows ever put on television.
I agree.
Because I'm a radio guy from way back, and that's WKRP in Cincinnati.
Baby, if you've ever wondered whatever became of me, I'm living on the air in Cincinnati, WKRP.
That was such a classic show.
Okay, let me tell you about this show and why I have a lot of love for this show. Because it's absolutely accurate in the archetypes of the people you will find in radio. The burned out DJ, okay. The sales guy in Herb Tarlick, right down to the jacket. I can tell you the guy that I worked with in Hot Springs, and his first name was Dick. And he wore a jacket that looked just like that and behaved just like this guy.
Y'all, I'm going to tell y'all right now, Butch is pitching tonight, and he's throwing up softballs, and I am just
I know you are.
I'm
You're
just letting them go.
Thank you very much, Chris. That is such restraint on your part. But yes, WKRP is one of those great shows.
Absolutely loved it.
You still got the NBC Monday Night Movie playing on there. So then at 9 Central, 10 Eastern, Lou Grant.
I liked Lou Grant. Okay,
Yeah,
that was a
Lou Grant
spinoff
was a
of
drama. Yeah, but it was a drama spinoff from
Mary Tyler Moore.
a sitcom. Yeah, from Mary Tyler Moore.
Yeah.
So
Good show. That was another good show.
that was another good
Wasn't
show.
on any of these nights.
So now we go to Tuesday nights on ABC. And guys, you talk about a powerhouse. It literally was a cultural phenomenon. Maybe not by 79. It had kind of, I don't know, it went 5 more seasons after this.
When did it start?
74, and that's Happy
Is it
Days.
really? I remember watching when it first
When it came on,
out.
it was a huge thing because everybody was, because the Fonz was the most awesome thing ever.
Well, you got to
know.
think about this. I mean, your dad graduated in the 50s.
Yeah.
My dad graduated in the 50s.
Mm-hmm.
It was, and my mom, that was their era.
Yeah.
So this comedy coming out in the early 70s about the 50s,
Yeah, it was perfect.
It was perfect. And I mean,
was perfect.
It was a great show.
Sunday, Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days. Thursday, Friday, happy days. The weekend comes, my cycle hums, ready to race to you. These days are
It was a great show. And before, literally the term jump the shark
came from that.
Comes from that because that's when Fonzie jumps the shark in his leather jacket and blue bathing suit.
Powder blue swimsuit.
And they say that, and the whole term for jump the shark is like when a series goes from,
superstardom to
it starts the decline. But yeah, Happy Days in 79 was still really good stuff. And then on CBS at 7, 8 Eastern, California Fever. You remember that?
No.
At all?
Nope.
Nope, me either. And NBC at 7 Central, 8 Eastern, The Misadventures of Sheriff Lobo.
I do remember that show.
I do remember that. That, I think, was kind of one of those things is like, well, the Dukes of Hazzard's doing really good. Smokey and the Bandit is a huge hit. Let's do a comedy sheriff hour-long kind of show that's kind of like the Dukes of Hazzard. And that's really what that was. It had Claude Akins, I think, as Sheriff Lobo. So... and then so we go now to the 8 o'clock hour on ABC. Another huge hit of the 70s and on into the 80s. And that's Three's Company.
Come and knock on our door. We've been waiting for you. Where the kisses are hers and his. Three's Company too.
Yep. We've got 2 movies running on Tuesday.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
remember that happening
On
like that.
Tuesdays on CBS and NBC, so we'll just go ahead and say, starting at like 8 o'clock, they had the CBS Tuesday movie and the NBC Tuesday movie. Yes. And then the only thing I can figure is that they knew that, ABC kind of had some powerhouses programmed in there. We'll just throw a couple of movies in there at that time. So I don't know, but yeah, you're right. CBS and NBC starting at 8 had a couple of movies there because on ABC at 8:30 Central, 9:30 Eastern was Taxi.
That was a big success show.
Yep. And then
that spun off started a bunch of careers. Danny DeVito.
Yep.
What the dude, Tony.
Mary Lou Henner.
Mary Lou Henner was there. Tony Danza on there.
Was it
what's his name? Christopher Lloyd.
Christopher Lloyd was on there.
Yeah. Who's that?
Married to Danny DeVito. What was her name?
Rhea Perlman.
Was she on there?
I think she was on Cheers.
That's right.
I think that's where she got her start right there. And then in 79 they had something called the Lazarus Syndrome, which I guess didn't last very long.
I don't remember. It had a syndrome and it didn't make it.
Yeah.
Syndrome. Nope. Didn't make it. So let's go to 8 o'clock on Wednesdays, and 8 is enough. And that was one of those shows that ran for a good long time. I remember that.
Boy, ABC just owned it, didn't they?
Now they did on some nights.
I don't remember. I remember the show, but I don't think I watched it.
We
Yeah.
did. We watched it faithfully.
Well, no, because on NBC they had what I was watching. Because on CBS at 7 o'clock they had a show called The Last Resort, which I don't think lasted very long. Because on NBC they had Real People, and that was one of those like little news magazines, but it was like a feel good show.
Mm-hmm.
If you ever see the Steve Hartman stuff on CBS,
I remember
now,
Real People. I do.
I
I
remember
think
the
that's
name.
what we were watching.
Yeah, so
instead
it's
of
like
8 is enough.
right? So I think we were watching Real People at the time, and then on CB, and that was an hour-long show. And the only other thing that changed during that block there on CBS at 7:30 Central was Struck by Lightning, which obviously got struck by lightning because
remember that at all.
it's not around anymore.
See, now I want to Google some of these names
Yeah,
to see if
I
I've-
do too, just to see if it
jogs a memory.
jogs a memory. And because on ABC at 8 o'clock, Charlie's Angels,
Yeah, I wasn't missing
another
that.
monster hit.
Wasn't missing that.
Nope.
Yeah, but like Different Strokes was so popular too. We watched Different Strokes
well,
too.
You know
That
what you
also-
talking about, Willis?
Yeah.
Charlie's Angels was
and-
on
and-
another channel.
Yeah, and because CBS at 8 Central was showing a Monday night movie all the way up until the news block. And so, yeah, Different Strokes on NBC at 8 o'clock. And that was another huge hit.
Now the world don't move to the beat of just one drum. What might be right for you may not be right for some. A
And then the only other thing that changed in that 8 o'clock hour at 8:30, also on NBC, was Hello Larry, which was McLean Stevenson had left MASH. Okay. This is before Potter came in. Remember, you had Henry Blake.
Yeah.
So he left, and Hello Larry was his sitcom failure. He left MASH and just bombed on Hello Larry. It was like, Hello Larry, goodbye.
It was a Different Strokes spinoff.
Hello Larry was?
It was. They had been on that show. He was friends with Mr. Drummond.
Oh, I see.
He had two teenage girls.
Oh.
That's right. That's true. I see. She's jogging some brain matter there, so that's what happens. Plus, when she hits me upside the head, which we've never conclusively proved.
I got to shake some things loose in
I
there
know.
somehow.
Wow. And then at 9 p.m., Vegas. And I remember that. That had...
That was a good show.
That was Dan Tana. Thank you, man. That is... I wouldn't have remembered that name without you telling me. And then NBC at that time at 9 was airing the best of Saturday Night Live.
And I don't remember that.
I don't remember that either. But... I guess they did. ABC on Thursday nights. Okay, so I'm looking here at this right here, and then Thursday nights was a battleground, folks. There were some like huge players on all the networks here that were vying against each other at that time. So at 7 p.m. you had Laverne and Shirley, another Happy Day spinoff.
Yep.
By the way, very popular.
It was very popular, and it was very good.
Yep.
Hello.
Hello. Lenny and Squiggy. Lenny and Squiggy.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, Schlemiel, Schlemazel, Hoskins F Incorporated. We're gonna do it. Give us any chance, we'll take it. Read us any rule, we'll break it. We're gonna make it.
And CBS had the Waltons at that 7.
I'm tell you right now, dude, I ain't got nothing bad to say against the Waltons. That
No.
was a great show.
It was a great show.
You got Laverne and Shirley, and then at 7:30, right behind it was a really good show also,
Yeah.
which was another spinoff, but it was good.
Yeah. Also on 7 o'clock at 8 Eastern on NBC was Buck Rogers.
Bitty.
And if you and I could get by with it, we would try to watch that, but sometimes it wasn't happening. Wasn't happening.
Not with one TV in the house.
Not with one TV in the house. And then you mentioned kind of the other spinoff at 8:30. The spinoff was from Soap, wasn't it?
Yep.
Is Benson.
Yep.
And Benson, I think, was actually a lot more popular.
It was.
It ran for a good long time.
Well, we'll get there.
Yeah.
So was Buck Rogers, Gil Gerard, is that
Yes.
his name?
Yeah.
From Arkansas?
Yeah, he's from Little Rock,
My
Arkansas.
mom loved him.
Yeah.
He actually came while this show was popular.
Yeah.
He actually came
To the football stadium.
Yeah,
I
Conway
remember
was
that.
playing Catholic.
Yes.
And he was a graduate of Catholic, and
Yeah.
he came to the game, and Conway just beat the fire out of Catholic.
I remember that.
I shook his hand that night. I got to
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
8 o'clock Central, 9 Eastern, Barney Miller on ABC. Boom, boom, boom. Do-do-dum. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Did you know Abe Vigoda that played Fish
Yeah.
back then? He looked ancient in the 70s, and he wasn't really that old because
I
he
know.
only passed away like a few years ago.
I don't know how old he was, but he was a very good actor.
He looked a lot older than he played older than what he was on there. Is what I'm saying.
You think you can give me a
And
Tom,
I guess
you think you can give me a pass just for old time's sake? Not this time, so.
8 o'clock on CBS, and was this still airing then? That is amazing to me in '79 that Hawaii 5-0. You know, and I
Great
guess they
show.
were still airing. Yeah, and they revived it on CBS.
And it was a good show.
It is a good show,
I've
too.
watched every one of those episodes.
Yeah, all those new ones were great too. And then Quincy, I remember because Jack Klugman was
He
on
was
there.
a coroner, wasn't he?
Yes, a medical
We watched
examiner.
that show at our house.
Yeah. And
so
then,
many of these we watched, like we've seen all of them,
But you know
because
that-
they were in reruns
That's
so
what
much.
I was going to say. They would do
Yeah.
that. They would start the season, and you'd pick your shows that you wanted to watch, and then you halfway through the season, you flip over to another channel
Yes.
and pick up those shows.
and check the reruns after
check the rerun, yeah.
And then Soap at 8:30 on ABC.
Dude, that was a great show.
Yeah.
To me, it was
Well,
just
Billy
funny
Crystal.
to me.
It launched Billy
It did
Crystal.
launch Billy Crystal's career.
Yeah.
But
It
it
was-
was just funny, man. I mean,
It was a funny show.
It was like
It was
a
edgy,
soap
too, at the time.
It was.
It was like a soap.
It was like a soap. Yeah.
And it was a little risque.
It was a
for
little
that.
risque
was.
for the time.
Well, so
It
was
really
Three's Company, though.
This is true.
Yeah. Come and knock on our door.
I mean, I remember I had some friends, their parents wouldn't let them watch Three's Company.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not watching that show.
Yeah.
So, and I didn't understand it at that time, but now I've got kids, and I'm like, oh, hell yeah, I understand.
I understand now. 9 Central and 10 Eastern, 2020.
Good evening, I'm Hugh Downs, and this is 2020.
On the ABC News Magazine, 2020, tonight.
News Magazine, which I guess is still airing now.
Is it really?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't even know. I know my mom and dad, they watched 2020.
Is that the one Barbara Walters?
Yeah,
was
back in the day. It was Hugh Downs and Barbara Walters back in the day.
Barbara Wawa.
Baba Wawa. And then Barnaby Jones at CBS.
I just couldn't see him in any other role but Ed Clampett.
But Jed Clampett.
Jed Clampett.
Well, doggy.
A good show, though. I always watched it. I liked it.
Someday I'm going to have a long talk with that boy.
Right.
And then Kate Loves a Mystery. And apparently Kate loved getting canceled because I don't think that one lasted on NBC that long.
I don't even know.
All right, so ABC on Friday. Now we get down to it here. ABC at 7 o'clock on Friday, Fantasy Island.
Welcome to Fantasy Island.
Boss, the plane, the plane.
That was a Friday night show?
That was a Friday night show.
I thought it came on after the Love Boat.
This was not the first year for Fantasy Island.
I think they moved it from Saturdays to Fridays.
Is that what it was?
I just remember watching it after the Love Boat.
Yeah.
I loved it when Mr. Rourke, he would get to that. They would be in their fantasy and something would go
horribly
wrong, and then they would go to him.
Wrong.
They'd go to him and want to change it, and he'd say, "Once your fantasy
fantasy
has done,
starts, you can't change it.
It must be fulfilled to its completion." And then and he would kind of get scary a little bit.
Oh, he was a good con too.
Yeah.
Oh, Kirk, I want to go on hurting you. But so yes, let's see, where were we at here?
Talking about
we were down to Fantasy Island. So now we would either watch that, or if we weren't at a ball game on a Friday night, because
we were at a ball game.
Yeah, we were at a ball game at least until December.
Yeah,
and then on CBS at 7 Central, 8 Eastern, The Incredible Hulk.
Mr. McGee, don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
We discussed it, man. That was a great show.
Religiously watched it.
And then on NBC on Friday, Shirley. I don't know what Shirley was about.
Shirley, you can't be serious.
Yes, I can. And don't call me Shirley.
That's right.
Thank you very much. So, and then on 9 Eastern, the ABC Friday night movie, which is just as well, because we weren't watching that. Nope, because you know why? On CBS, they had the Dukes of Hazzard.
Just a good old
boys. Never meaning no harm.
It's all you never saw. Been in trouble with the law
since the day it was born.
Just a good old boy. Never meaning no harm. Beats all you never saw. Been in trouble with the law since the day they was born.
Making their way. No, I'm sorry.
The only way they know. It's like, folks, come back. And then, but it was also hard because my dad really liked.
My parents too.
The Rockford Files, James Garner, which I'm going to tell you right now. Let me go ahead and chase the rabbit here. James Garner in Support Your Local Sheriff. I will stop and watch if I catch it at any point during that movie.
We talk about people tearing up decades. James Garner tore up the 70s.
He did.
I mean, he did.
And he was so cool as James
cool.
Rockford. That was just a great show. And there's a part of him when I look at him that he reminds me so much of my dad. Because he kind of
did look like
kind of look.
He does.
Because they physically kind of look alike.
Yeah.
So man, I like that.
Good
stuff.
show. Great
Good show. So the ABC Friday night movie still rolling at 9 o'clock on ABC. So let's go to CBS and one of the huge powerhouse thing. And you remember how this season ends with, by the way, in '79 with Who Shot JR?
Who Shot JR?
Okay, so Debbie and I have actually been to South Fork. And we went to South Fork, when was that? 4 or 5 years ago. We actually went to South Fork Ranch. But yeah, Dallas was huge. And this is the cliffhanger season that ended with who shot JR. And who was it? Was Kristen?
It was Kristen.
Kristen shot him. That's right.
Because, JR was messing with her, and he thought she wanted him to leave her for Sue Ellen.
I thought
and he
Sue
wouldn't do
Ellen
it.
shot him.
No, it was Kristen.
Everybody thought it was Sue Ellen, but it was not. It was Kristen.
Maybe that's why I thought that's why I
Yeah.
thought Sue Ellen shot him.
Nope. And then on NBC, the quickly canceled, because I never heard of it, Eisht. Is that what it is?
I have no idea what that word is.
Excised.
Excised? Eisht? It sounds like a German word. Eisht! So it's German, where, they can talk to you and it sounds scary.
I have never, ever heard of that show.
And we had to wait so long over the whole hiatus to find out who shot
JR.
And I remember seeing T-shirts at Walmart. Who shot JR?
Yeah, I did. He stole my Coke. You remember that one?
Yes.
The Coke put out. That was funny.
I'll tell you a better T-shirt than that. And it was, you remember when the 700 Club was big and James and Tammy Faye Baker?
Yes.
And it said, I ran into Tammy Faye at the mall, and it was like a smear.
This big old smudge of
a smear of
those were
makeup.
awesome.
It was,
I
that
remember
woman had
those.
on so much makeup, it was unbelievable.
That was funny.
Bless her heart.
So let's go ahead and close out the week Saturday night at ABC. 7 Central, 8 Eastern. That was The Ropers, which was a spinoff of Three's Company.
It was.
So I guess by this time on Three's Company, they had the former Deputy Five. They had Don Knotts on there playing Jack Furley.
Yes.
Was that his name, Jack Furley?
Yep.
Mr. Farley.
Yes.
But he's basically playing Barney Fife as a landlord on that one. But yeah, The Ropers, I don't think it lasted very long. I think it was like one. And so also during that time on CBS, Working Stiffs, which I
No recall.
remember. Don't recall, but Chips on NBC at 7 o'clock on Saturdays, I do recall.
That garnered a lot of
'Cause,
attention.
Yeah.
From,
Eric Estrada was very popular.
He was big with the
ladies.
Hello, ladies. and then a couple of throwaway shows. ABC had Detective School, went away. CBS did a version of the Bad News Bears, which I guess was equally bad.
Pretty bad news.
And pretty bad news for them because it also went away. But if we go to ABC at 9 Eastern, 8 Central, we have The Love Boat.
Love.
Exciting and new.
Come aboard.
We're expecting you. The Love Boat. Soon we'll be making another run. The Love Boat promises something for everyone. You realize that's making the promo for this show.
I'm okay.
Yeah.
with that.
Y'all
I don't
didn't
care.
sing the part I really wanted you to sing.
What's that?
And love won't hurt anymore.
It does. You're doing it wrong. Anyway. Yeah, if it hurts, you're doing it wrong.
I would have paid money for y'all to sing that.
No, we know when to stop, usually. So at 8 o'clock on CBS, Big Seamus, Little Seamus. Is that like Big Enos, Little Enos? On
That's not as classic as that.
Not as classic as that.
Okay, Butch, I have to correct you on something.
What?
You talked about
Here's a shocker.
BJ and the Bear, and you said something about it had nothing to do with the Bad News Bears. It was Greg Evigan and the monkey.
That's a concept I can't get enough of.
What?
A man and his monkey.
What are you saying?
This was BJ and the Bear.
No, I didn't say anything about BJ and the Bear yet.
Bad
I
News
said about the
Bears.
Bad News Bears.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm ahead of myself.
No, you're behind.
No, I'm not.
I'm
You're
waiting.
behind.
I'm waiting.
No, you said BJ and the Bear.
No,
he
I
said Bad
didn't.
News Bears.
When I go back and play this
Yes.
back.
You know you're my partner.
No, but
right?
listen.
You got my back. I got yours.
Yeah, but he said
didn't. No.
that you thought BJ and the Bear was like a ripoff of Bad News Bear, or did you
No,
not?
I did not
misheard.
say that.
I was thinking ahead. I was getting
you
ahead
did
of myself.
Not. You gotta
Get ourselves back.
Oh, Lord.
So let's go to 8 o'clock. BJ and the Bear, which I had not mentioned yet. aired during that time, which is about a trucker and his monkey. So there you go.
I might have just got excited because I really liked Greg Evigan when I was
that's
growing up.
Almost in the same category as an old man in an RV driving a little boy around country.
Oh, and Shazam. A little sketchy.
It's a little
I'm just
sketchy.
telling you, a little sketchy.
A man and his monkey.
A man and his
Look
monkey.
what happened to Michael Jackson, y'all.
Yeah.
Did you like Greg Evigan, Sandy?
Yeah.
I did. I
Chris,
thought so.
I'm just going to say,
We've been
since you brought
joined
up
by Butch's sister, Sandy.
who's just sitting over here in the corner laughing at us. ABC at 9, Heart to Heart. Now, I used to like that.
I love that show.
Loved Heart to
I'll
Heart.
tell you right now, man, Stephanie Powers.
She was a beautiful lady.
She's
Wasn't she
beautiful.
gorgeous?
She was a pretty lady.
So we were talking about John Wayne movies several episodes
I know
back.
what you're going to say.
McClintock. She was a very young lady.
Yeah,
in
she
that.
was Stephanie Powers. Yeah, she was in that.
Just
Yeah.
gorgeous.
It's one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, beautiful lady, and she aged well.
Yep, she did.
She did. You know, my aunt used to always say she loved Heart to Heart. And I would always I'd be at their house a lot when I was this age. And I remember her saying she loved it because they just had such a good marriage. They just had such a wonderful
The
marriage.
Heart to Heart.
Yeah.
Good show.
They would say, darling, darling.
Darling, yes, darling.
So she's just one of those.
Debbie calls me darling all the time.
Yeah,
That's a lie.
If I
That's
get
a
that,
lie.
If
That's
I
an
get that
absolute
at
lie.
home, something's up. I'm in trouble. Something's up.
I won't tell you what Butch used to call me.
Oh, stop. And then CBS, and moving on, at 9 o'clock,
The guilt.
Paris. Do you remember Paris? No, you don't.
I do not.
And then NBC, this little ending here, a man called Sloan.
I don't know who that
remember.
is. I don't know that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
So guys, that was the primetime schedule from 1979. So
it was a lot of fun getting
it's
through
a lot of
this.
fun getting through that because it brought back a lot of memories
It did.
on that
mean,
stuff we used to watch.
At that age, at 12, like on Friday nights, we were at a football game or at the movies.
Yep.
So I didn't watch a lot
Friday
of
nights
Saturday Night TV.
was reserved for the movies by the time we hit like 79, 80.
Yeah.
You know, we were
absolutely.
going
I mean,
to the
actually, I
movies.
was going probably 76, 77.
Yeah,
I
because
was in the movies.
me and the Cleggs had our normal seats, and we actually had initials carved into
We
them.
did,
I'm
which I
not
think
I'm
is
not
illegal these
advocating
days, but we
that
did.
people go in and carve seat their
We sat in
initials.
seats that nobody else would want to sit in.
Yeah,
and
that's
we
true.
sat there every week.
Every week.
Unless we met our girlfriend there, and then we
That's
tried
right.
to get on the back
So-
row.
And then we would try to mess with you.
Yeah.
If you were there with your girlfriend. So there's that.
lots of stories there.
There are lots of stories there. Debbie, thank you for jumping in with us today.
Thank you.
You said I threw you under the bus, and I didn't.
I know.
I was trying to save you. I was trying to keep you from making that huge mistake.
I'm sorry.
I really was. I would never throw you under the
misspoke.
bus.
You know, one thing I was thinking about these shows is we all watch the same shows because
Yeah.
we had really limited options, and so we have all these cultural references in common. And I wonder, there's such a wide array of shows now that are they going to have that, or is it
they're
other?
not.
It's other things that they're going to.
There are other things they're going
I'm
to
gonna
touch
tell
on.
you something. We talked about this not too long ago. I mean, getting my son to get his driver's license was like pulling teeth. I'm like, dude, I couldn't wait.
We couldn't wait to get our driver's
Oh, my
license
God.
because that was freedom for us.
It was.
It
was. We didn't have to watch 2020 anymore.
We could go sit on the Walmart parking lot.
We could go sit on the Walmart
Magic Mart parking lot.
Guys, if you people are driving around with younger folks here, I'm speaking to them right now. We used to do this thing called cruising, which basically
It don't mean the same thing it means today.
It don't mean the same thing it means today. Not at all. Hi, sailor. No, it doesn't mean that. It means that we were just riding around in our cars up and down the street, and everybody else was riding around in their cars, and you just wanted to be seen and see your friends, and you would hang out on the local parking lots and hang out because that's all you could do at the time.
For all you young adults out there, 2 movies that I can introduce to y'all, if you haven't seen them ever, that would tell you basically exactly like our teenage years was. One of them is Dazed and Confused, which is a little before our time.
Yeah.
But it wasn't very far before our time, and it was
Nope.
pretty much the same thing when we got to high school. And then The Breakfast Club.
Breakfast Club really hits
our generation for sure.
Hits us really close.
Yeah, very close
on that because you had every one of them there. Hey guys, retroshow.net. I cannot tell you guys enough that you need to go there to check out all of the stuff that we have there, including our new store where you can get your Team Chris shirt like Debbie's going to order tomorrow on that. So, so there's that. But anyway, guys, we thank you for listening to us. Go out and make your day, people.
Debbie, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
AMF, guys.
Sit, Ubu, sit. Good dog.